Everybody, to another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica artwork, and right now we're just kind of roughing out ideas for the book cover. So I have a couple of things I want to try and do here. We made another version of this. Now, let's take a look at if we can do anything interesting. So, upon further review, I think we can increase the size of this. So it's just the two figures, which makes it a lot larger in the frame. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you still have characters that are kind of like crossing into the frame, which is nice. I would like to also duplicate this layer. Let's take it out of here. We're going to rasterize it. And let's just kind of combine a few elements. Can't believe this flip feature exists. So I want to take just the Athena statue that we had kind of encroaching into the frame in the other one, and I want to put it into this one because it kind of adds a nice little bit of balance, since now the house thing is so far over to the side. Maybe we can get a little something like that. And this would go behind the falling wall, I guess. Let's just kind of rough in some of this stuff. All right. So it's nice that it's so big. Basically, like having Ias on the side of the frame didn't really contribute to the composition of the picture. So I like what we got here. We could even try to move him over a little bit more. something like that. And then I was thinking also I could add like maybe add the color of the statue for his sword. And possibly even for his shield. Not sure about that one though. This is just really rough. We're just erasing out where the lines would be. That is kind of cool, actually. Although this obviously doesn't work. Well, maybe it does. It's interesting because this is just going to be added for the cover, but then the picture looks different in the actual drawing. But we're trying to draw attention to different things. In the main picture, the Athena statue is meant to be the thing that draws your eye. Whereas here you don't really see the Athena statue, so we're using something else to draw the eye. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, now let's resize this stuff. Compositionally, that looks pretty cool. definitely has a stronger read than the previous iteration. I think I might take this or actually let's grab a whoops. No, yeah, I don't think that is necessary. So let's get rid of that. All right, that's pretty cool. So it's that versus this. Let's look at our old one. Like, this is cool, but if you look at it from far away, there's not really, it's not really as easy to see what's happening, whereas this one, being only two characters, it's very clear what the relationship between the two of them is. It's the victim and the attacker. And the other one, there's like a third guy who's like not even facing the other two characters. So it's like, what is he even doing? Yep, I think this is it. Let's take a quick look at this too. This is a strong... I still think this is a strong concept for a cover of a book because it's so visually arresting. Like, you see it from very far away, you can see like a clear read on the cover. So let's do this. We're going to duplicate this group or this layer. Oh geez, I think I opened something by accident. I mean, it's pretty cool because it really doesn't, you can zoom out as far as you want. You could still see something in the picture. It still looks like something. And these words aren't as choked in their area. Honestly, this might end up being the thing we go for then. Huh. I could even see like the Audible version being something like this, where there's like a larger upper area here. Oops. And then oh wait, I didn't do this right. We would basically just copy this. So if it was like that on Audible to whatever point where it ends up being a square, and then the book title could go up here, on a layer where it shows up behind Penthesilea. Like that. That's really strong. At least for the Audible edition, I think that's a definite. Yeah. Now the question is, how do I save this? Okay, we didn't really make any definite changes, so hold on. First off, we're going to duplicate this. Why won't it let me drag? Actually, can I do this? Yeah. So let's take this. Is there a crop? Yes. Okay, good. So many tools that I wasn't aware of when I was using this before. I guess there's not like a choose square option. Well, let's just kind of assume that's a square. That looks great. I mean, as a book cover, that looks really good. Or audiobook cover, I mean. It's pretty close. So it's a little bit wider than it is tall. Now, if I were to change this, I think it'll stretch it. So let's actually not do that. We're going to just crop it, make it a little taller. Or actually just constrain the sides a little bit, I guess. Yeah, that's it. It needs to be a tiny bit taller, but that doesn't really matter because we already are increasing the height, so we can just do that even more. I don't get why this... Oh, look at that. We can see the dimensions up there. So that's a perfect square. Now, if we wanted just to get these pictures to show up a little bit more, we could actually shrink this a little bit. Okay. And then for the bottom, oops, we don't want to cut, we want to paste. We could just make a bigger pattern that fits like that for the audiobook. And then we would, of course, make sides as well, which we don't currently have. Something like that. I don't know, there'd be some little thing in there too. And so then this would say Posthomerica, Fall of Troy. That can be even bigger now. I don't know where this thing is coming from. And I don't know, maybe we choose a different color for it. Well, we'll figure out whatever that is, but we're on the right track. Yeah, maybe it's like that. And then, so this would go like that. Cut out her hand. It would be nice if Achilles cut into this a little bit too, but we'll figure that out. Then, we want this. First of all, what the hell is so big? Is it one of these? Nope. You know what it is? It's got to be the matte layer. It messes up my bounding boxes. And now this can go over the other stuff. It's going to be smaller. And it would say, it's not on a different layer. Because it's not really expected when you buy an audiobook that it's going to have illustrations, or that could even be a part of it. So you don't really want to say illustrated edition. Something like that. And this should be a little bit bigger than the other part. Maybe it would say free PDF. No. Although something about a PDF would be good because then it communicates to a person with an audiobook. Like, the first thing you're thinking when you see that is like, what the hell does that mean? Because how do you get illustrations in an audiobook? Something like that, where it says downloadable PDF. Okay, we can't really do that because it's gonna block the words. But maybe like that. We kind of landed on a great audiobook cover way sooner than I expected. And possibly on a cover for the regular book, if we decide we like this one. Otherwise, we have another really great option already. This doesn't work because it looks like his leg is weirdly like part of this shape. So maybe it's just the shield that goes above. As an audiobook cover, that's pretty damn cool. It looks great. Let's import a picture, which is Audible's like demo picture that they give you to see what how your thing is sized, because there's like a dead zone on audiobook covers where they don't want you to put anything. You can see here this little red area, because that's where the stripe goes where it says only from Audible or whatever it says. And ours is going to be exclusive to Audible, so we want to do that. Yeah, it's not really covering anything. So that's where this piece would go. The band thing wouldn't really cover anything important. Although, would we rather it... Here's an interesting question. Let's duplicate this. And let's do our favorite new thing, which is flip it. And let's just see if we like this better. We can't flip the mat of this. But we can just redraw it. Oh, that's why it looks weird, because this is not flipped. Now I like the other one better. The black on the left, I think, is better because it's more striking for there to be a white on red on black in the larger area. Great. Yeah, the reason I keep making it really small like this is because that's the size you're going to see it, you know, on your phone when you're like scrolling through audiobooks or in the store. So it's really important to look at a super small version of your picture as often as you can to see if it like reads to a person far away or to a person who's looking at it on a small screen. That's very strong. I think this is going to be the design for this. As for this, I'm not sure. What else did we have? This one we don't want to do because it's not depicting the story. Heracles is on the shield of Eurypylus. I think the one that's the most indicative of the storyline is this, because it's showing Troy actually falling. I guess you could do the Trojan horse, but it's like too esoteric. I mean, this is, I think, one of my favorite pieces of artwork we've done, but it only works when you're like aware of what we're doing with the book. Otherwise, it doesn't really look like Greek art. This one is just a really striking image. This one too I like a lot, but it only works very horizontally with the eyeballs. Let's see what we think of this. Okay. So we have that, and I think we wanted to change the color of this. To that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't like it as much for this book cover. Let's go to the other one. We'll mess around a little bit more with this. There's something, I don't know. What if we got rid of this? So it like bleeds off the page. And I think that's worse. That is exacerbating the problem. The issue I have is that I don't really like the picture bleeding to the edges like that. What if we made the black section even bigger? See, we could make this kind of self-contained where it feels like there's no other stuff. But I think you lose something when you do that. Oh, maybe not. Actually, it's kind of cool. So we're going to take away the Athena statue. That is pretty cool. So we'll let all the shapes play out even if they encroach past their areas. But everything else goes. That's pretty cool. And maybe if we made Priam's headband a little prioritized here. I don't know if that's even going to show up. Yeah, it's not really that visible. But whatever, it works. So if we took 1, 2, put these in a group with this, then we could move these. That's pretty strong. Yeah, I don't like this design for the book cover for some reason. I just don't think it works on a tall format. It's perfect for a square. This is like a shoo-in. I want this to be the audiobook cover. But I still am leaning towards this for the book cover. This is definitely a more tall, friendly image. Oh, right, okay. Good. Now, we either want to make this whole thing this color, or okay, that might work. And that's interesting too, because then we could give it this design. Okay, don't love that idea, but I still think we're on the right track. And I think for this one, it's very unlikely we're going to also want it to be that accent color. Yeah. So what I think I want to do instead is we would have the corners of this one be the bright color. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I still think something needs to be the illustrated edition is bigger than the title now. That definitely reads a lot better than the other one did with the 3 characters. I don't really know what we're gonna do to like get back pieces of this picture because we kind of merged them in order to do our processing, but we could just do it again from scratch. It's not that hard. Maybe if it was like inside like this. I feel like I want there to be an accent color, but I can't figure out how to get it in. It'd be cool if it no, it'd make it too illegible. I think that's it. I think that is the book cover. So let's put all these other ones in old folders. Where's the old folder? It's all the way down here. Alright, that's going to be kind of hard to do. I can do it on the PC, actually. Easier to drag stuff on here. Okay, so put that in the old folder. Oh, now the old folder's all the way at the bottom. Okay. You know, the book one cover doesn't look so bad now that I'm looking at it again. Like as a book cover, using the book one design. We'll leave that in there for a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I think I like this one better. Okay. One thing I want to do is, I wanted to go back to Memnon picture if it doesn't crash the whole thing. And we're gonna just adjust it. So let me open my ref files here. So I think it looks great, but we need to, I would like to add like a texture layer on top of everything. If this, once again, if it doesn't crash the entire thing, I'm basically going to put everything in one folder. It's very possible this will crash everything. Before we actually make any changes, let's duplicate it. before extra post. Oops. Oh, we didn't want to open that yet. Can I change the file name while we're in the file? Let's find out. Okay. Yeah, turns out we can. Huh. You can do force it to save? Man, there's a lot of features about this that I didn't know about. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna get a color that's just this. Whoa. We're gonna hit that with the color and put it out of sight. Now we're gonna take every single layer. This is the type of thing that gets your document to crash. And we're basically just gonna make little, not that big though. What's the best way to do this? So first, let's save it. I'm very nervous that it's going to crash. Now what we want to do is essentially just add the picture back in, almost intact, but with a few pieces missing, because it's a little too clean right now. Photoshop is performing better than it was because I deleted the app and reinstalled it, which basically just deleted all the files that we had saved onto the local drive. And now that there's less hard drive space taken up, it's able to use more page file, so that the hard drive doesn't get, the storage space doesn't run out while we're in these streams. Hopefully. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.